What up, though, boy? How's in the building? Welcome to tonight's show. Everybody want to say what up?
Hey guys.
What's going on, good people? How y'all?
All right. It is August 23rd, 2021, and we are ready for another Monday night GFT radio show. Tonight we have a great topic for you as always. We will be talking about some relationship challenges. Is your relationship doomed by your unrealistic standards? Before we get started, make sure you please like, subscribe, follow, hit the notifications on whatever channel you're watching. Please like, subscribe, follow. We need those numbers so that way you can find out when we're on and online, because we have lots of shows. We have shows almost 5 days a week. As well as notifications so that you get notified when those shows are on. So please like, subscribe, and hit the notifications. We have a great topic. Is your relationship doomed by your unrealistic standards? Topic came up, I think.
So hold on, he not gonna let us say hi, Clint.
We did that already.
I said hi already.
You literally said hi already. Like, you said hello. You was like talking. I don't know. I know, man. I know, bro. I was about to say like maybe she meant you, but I was like, no, hi too. And then
I didn't drink anything today.
You guys, so I don't know.
You guys are sorry.
Literally, I was like, everybody want to say hello, and I was waiting. And then she said something, and you said, I thought, yeah.
Oh, we did.
Sorry, y'all.
We didn't know.
Some people are having some 404 errors. I can't really gonna do that.
I think I was on autopilot for a quick minute.
Maybe because I added in that like subscribe thing. Maybe that threw you off.
It threw me.
But no, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that so that gets into our routine. We got to make sure we ask the people like, subscribe, follow, because we do have a lot of people watching us who don't subscribe to us. We want to make sure that's happening. Anyway, back to the show. Is your relationship doomed by your unrealistic standards? Is your podcast doomed to unrealistic standards? So this topic came up, I think, a few weeks ago. We were having a conversation about, we've been having a lot of relationship topics about various things, about various reasons. But one of the things that popped up, and I think it had more to do with people having expectations that they don't. I think this was a topic in the joint conversation group. Matter of fact, it was like people having expectations that they don't put on themselves, expectations of others. So we wanted to talk about, bring that, your spin on that. So let's get started with that. I don't know who wants to go first, but what's your estimation on how people are making these, or bringing up these standards that aren't realistic? Basically, what do you think? Like, what standards do you think are people looking for?
I don't think, for me, my opinion is, I don't think it's any specific standard. I think it's that people expect more from others than the standard they have for themselves. You understand? So, I've talked to quite a few women, like they have what they perceive, what they want from a man, and they have all this stuff, this list. But when you ask them what do they bring to the table, it's the same cookie cutter response. Oh, I got my own this, I got my. Well, nobody asked you that. No, we all should have our own something. You know what I mean? I don't want your car. I don't need to sleep in your bed. I don't need to, you know what I mean? All that extra stuff. What else do you bring to the table? So when I hear this conversation, what is this topic? My first thought goes to most people, and men do this too. They expect more from others than what they're willing to give, or even that they have to give. You see what I'm saying? it goes back to our conversation we had before, to where a lot of people don't even know themselves. So you don't know yourself, but yet you want this, that, and the third from somebody else. And this goes both ways. Men guilty of this a whole lot, women guilty of this a whole lot. It's not no gender specific one-way conversation. This goes both ways. A lot of us don't know ourselves and know what we want for ourselves. You feel me? But got the nerve to ask somebody to bring something to the table. In most cases, most people want somebody to bring something to fill a void that they have, that they know they can't fill themselves. So that's when we broach this topic, that's what I think about.
Yeah, and I immediately think of too. I just heard on Heinz podcast, and Will Smith said it too. A lot of us, one of the most unrealistic standards that I think most of us have is for another person to make us happy. Like that's unreal. It's like you think about it, and it's crazy because like Will Smith said it, and then I heard it on the podcast today that Heinz shared. But it was just thinking about it, like, because look at it like this: relationships wise, I know for me personally, I've looked for them to avoid for me to make me feel a certain type of way. Like I've been that person that looked for that in the person to make me feel a certain way, whereas I should have felt that way myself. And I shouldn't require that. To me is an unrealistic standard of them to have them fulfill that need and knowing that they really can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to clarify that though, in terms of, because like when I first heard that, I got it. I totally understood what they meant, how, but I think sometimes people, what they may misinterpret, because I was watching some kind of, I don't know if it was a show or not YouTube, but a Snap channel show, but somebody made the comment about, the person needing to make them happy, and the way they described it, it made sense what they meant, but it was like not counter, I'll take that back. It was like, it kind of made it sound like it was counter to what the Will Smith comment was. But I think, what we should clarify is that it's that happiness that you should be able to find in yourself.
Exactly.
As well as in your situation and livelihood as it stands, right?
Yeah, so that's like people that's not happy being by themselves.
Yeah, don't go into a relationship, being depressed and so lowly about what you're doing and how you're doing life, that you feel like somebody's going to fix that by being in your life, because then that's not going to work out. That's unrealistic. You can't lean on somebody and say, you know what, fix my life. You know what I mean? Like everybody's not a Yanla. They can't fix your life. You need
but a lot of people do that. And I know I've been that person at points of times in my life where I've looked for that in the person because I lack that in myself. And it's crazy because we get to that point, and I think we get to that point of you get so caught up in the ideal of something that you lose focus on like what it is. Like I said, to be happy by yourself. It's a lot of people that's single but not happy.
Right. And
this is why they go through what they go through, and then they meet these people, and it doesn't work, and they set these weird goals or weird standards, and now their standards are super low, where they're accepting more than what they would because they just don't want to be by themselves. And I think that's the thing of where we get to the point where we just need to learn to be happy by ourselves so we could be happy with somebody else. Like it's like, and that's why to that point, what you said is clarifying that is that I want the person that's with me to make me happy, but that's not the, like being with them is not just going to make me happy.
They're not the reason you're happy. The analogy, because I remember we talked about this back on the old Blog Talk Radio, and I used to love that quote from Will Smith. The analogy he used was pouring. I can't pour into you what I don't have. You feel me? Don't have me empty my cup into you, and then what do I have for myself? I can't be responsible for your happiness. You feel me? That was because I remember he was talking about him and Jada. He said that's what makes them work. We're not responsible for each other's happiness. You feel me? We add on, we support each other, but we're not responsible. That's our job. You feel me? That's something that's stuff we teach to our kids, or we should teach to our kids. Don't rely on somebody else to make you happy. Build that from within.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, because we definitely want that. I mean, like you said, that's one thing is that if I don't have it, I definitely can't give it to you. And that's not fair for you to feel like I have to have that if you know that it's not there. Like, if we already established that. But also the other thing too, I think that people do is they get into either a dating scenario or a situation, and then they expect that person to spend all their time. Like, it's like I understand getting to know each other and spending some time, carving out some time to start building a connection and that kind of thing, especially if you are dating to build into a more committed relationship with this person. But the thing is that I think some people have some unrealistic timing expectations, especially because a person can be like, hey, I got a job, or I have family, or whatever the case may be. They may have other outstanding, requirements. Like, I got kids, I got grandkids, I got a job, I got a business, I got the podcast. So there's I got all these different things going on. And if I do open up to allow myself to date, then I should be able to, have a healthy expectation from that person I'm dating, that I need to still tend to some of those things at times. And, of course, making time, and, we can definitely talk about the opposite of that. But, but in terms of, the expectation for me is be conscious of the fact that I do have this, especially if I spell it out to you, like, look, I got this, and this going on, but I feel like I can dedicate, time to this relationship or to building this relationship, that kind of thing. So, you know what I mean? So then that way we can move forward. But some people will be like, oh, well, if you're not picking me up every day to go on a date, or if we're not spending X number of hours on the phone, blah, 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 they don't feel like that's enough.
Yeah, I think another thing too for females, and sorry females, I'm gonna be honest, because I know a lot of females that are like this. I think the unrealistic standard is to have a guy always and it's one, I get it, because if you can buy it, if you can buy it for yourself or do it for yourself, you expect him to be able to do that, but you got to know who you're dating. And not everybody's on the same length or same money pocket or same standard. Like, let's be realistic. A lot of females currently that I know make more money than the males that they're dating. Some guys do make substantially more money than them, but if you're dating somebody that's in a lower salary range than you need to be realistic in your standards of what you expect from him. You can't have him buying what you would buy because you can do it yourself, and that's fine that you could do it yourself, but you can't expect him to do it all the time. Yeah, he may surprise you and do it here, there, and every so often here and there, but don't expect that man to physically or literally go broke. Right. Trying to be like exactly. This.
But another thing too, I think you have to do is it doesn't even matter what salary each person is in. Like, I make more than most of the women I date, but I don't spend.
Yeah.
I don't spend that. I don't spend my money based on how much I make. I spend on how much I budget. Right. My thing is not about, oh, I make X number of dollars per week or X number of dollars per year. My thing is, what have I set aside to do recreation? What have I set aside to buy, gifts? What do I set aside? You know what I mean? That kind of thing, because we all aren't living or right. We all aren't living outside of our means, or we all aren't living at our means. Right. You know what I'm saying? So but, I think we have to consider that too.
But see, this is why I'm going to come to the defense of the women. Mm-hmm. First of all, bro, stop
who you dating.
You know who you dating.
That too.
If she living at a certain standard, I don't advise women to lower their standard, nor men. Mm-hmm. This goes both ways as well. But if you got a certain quality of life you want to live at, then date accordingly. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So, bro, if you don't, I was single for a while because I know I just couldn't afford a relationship. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I kept it real with myself. I got a daughter, got my own crib, paying my own bills. I can't afford a relationship right now. Not the type of relationship I want with the type of woman I want. Mm-hmm. You understand? So, because I know I want a woman at a certain standard as well. I like to spend money when I got it, bro. So like at the end of the day, if I don't got it, I just don't got it. But I'm not about to be chasing something that I can't not just catch but keep.
Exactly, maintain. Exactly.
Yeah, you understand. And women, I need y'all to stop trying to date. You know this man. You know this man can't support your lifestyle. You feel me? You have a certain. Stop. Why are you dating down? Don't tell me, oh, the pool isn't like. No, you set them. Feel me? Because this is where the Kevin Samuels, because you know a dude at a certain level, he has options as well, just like you do. You feel me? And I know some women are intimidated by a man who has options, and they know he has options. But I wanted to piggyback off of something what Willie was talking about as far as the damn. Well, put it like this. Sometimes in relationships, people tend to, in the beginning, you know, everything's good. They expect that standard to be there the whole time. You feel me? Most people, once things start going bad, they don't know how to deal with that because they had this unrealistic view of the relationship, like everything will always be good. Then soon as something comes up, you feel me, it's more turn a mountain to a molehill because neither one of you know how to deal with it because y'all had expectations that everything's going to be fine. Just like marriage. When you get married, if you're dating to marry, you should understand that this is a death to us part, to richness and poor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that. So if things happen, situations occur, are you still going to be there? A lot of people not really ready for that. You feel me? They want everything to be smooth sailing. That's unrealistic. It's unforeseen occurrences befalls us all. You understand?
True that.
Like, so you never know what's about to happen tomorrow. So if you think everything gonna be all hunky dory and smooth sailing, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Exactly. Yeah. Raymond said, I won't ask her to change her standards. I'll just avoid that situation before that situation winds up leaving you broke and blame the man for not meeting your wants when you are hardly bringing anything to the table besides a piece of tail. And I mean, I think too, it's not even just about bringing a certain amount to the table. I think sometimes it's just the fact of you do have these expectations based on how you live, and if you either ask the questions or make the realizations of this mismatch in lifestyles, then you need to either move on or move up or down or whatever you want to do. Because the thing is that, like you said, Raymond, you don't want to end up being broke, or you don't want to end up feeling like it's their fault when you really decided to go down instead of dating at your level. So I think that, you know, regardless of what you're bringing, because I think when you're talking about lifestyle, you're talking about, you know, where are we going to date at, or what type of activities are we going to do? Or if I say I'm a traveler and you say you're a traveler, but then it turns out I take Greyhound and you take planes, that's a mismatch. You see what I'm saying? I'd stay at the Marriott, but you want to stay at Hotel 6. That's a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we have to examine these things a little bit more, especially in this day and age where, you know, we can ask those questions. I think it's normalized now. We can ask those questions. It's no longer where it's like, oh, you know, or at least what we think it is, where we think it used to be like, where it's like, okay, if you're courting, a man was like, you know, I'm gonna take care of everything, blah, 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 you know, however that used to supposedly go. I don't really know. I think we all made up a lot of that, but I think that it's we could talk about that. That's a whole nother topic. But I think that that's the thing, is that I think right now it's normalized finances. Because when I was dating this one girl, it was like we talked about how we handled our finances. We didn't go into numbers, but we were like, hey, how do you budget, or do you budget? How do you pay your bills, or just, you know, do you do auto pay? You know what I mean? You have to have these conversations to realize who you're dating. I mean, yeah, it's not day one topics when it comes to that. You know, day one, you can say, hey, what type of restaurants do you like? Or, you know, where do you go when, you know, if you are going to be travel buddies, where do you go when you travel, and how do you stay? Do you stay in a condo? Do you stay in a hotel? Do you stay in an Airbnb? You see what I'm saying? So then that way you can gauge what you guys are going to do with that time together, and if it's going to match Because one thing my sister always says, y'all know Joy. Joy, first thing she says is make it make sense. Make it make sense. Look at me and then look at you. And then let's see if we match. You see what I'm saying? And she's not talking about physical. She's talking about do our lifestyles match? Do our standards match? Our morals, do they match? Do our expectations, goals, and dreams match? There's a lot of things you got to match up. You can't just jump into a relationship and say, oh, everything, like you said, Smooth, everything's just going to be hunky-dory just because we think it's going to be hunky. It's not. It doesn't work that way. You have to work on that.
And just because, just because you like each other don't mean y'all supposed to be together. You could really like.
I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, me too. Me too, bro. Like you could really like somebody.
To death. This probably isn't working right now. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's another thing too. It's like that joke threw me off a little bit, but like what you said, make it make sense. Sometimes in relationships, it doesn't make sense because what's my key thing? Communication.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
People don't communicate much no more. And I know what it was. The point you made about some of this stuff being made up. Let's talk about unrealistic expectations. I need women to know. See, you can't have it both ways, right? Back in the day, this so-called standard of the man doing everything and a woman, he's supposed to take care of the woman, and the woman just supposed to, her place is in the home or this, that, and the third. That was all that was to keep y'all subjugated.
Mm-hmm.
Keep y'all in y'all place. You feel me? That wasn't for y'all to prosper. You understand? So it's like y'all screaming y'all want that independence, but y'all still want that subjugation. You feel me? It was framed in a way as the American dream. This is what men supposed to do. And men fell for it too. You feel me? TV, music, that all influenced, but it was all fake. It was all a dream. You understand? They wanted y'all. They never thought women. I was reading this article about back in the day when they first did the trains. They really thought this is a weird fact. That's the name of the page. Weird fact. They thought women couldn't travel on trains that went 50 miles per hour because it would do something to their uterus. That's what they thought of y'all back in the day. These is the standards y'all trying to live by from the people who created it. That's what they thought of y'all. So when y'all think about, this what happened, this how it was back in the day, things done changed. Like, no, it was a reason why it was like that. It was a reason. It wasn't no positive reason.
And that's my thing too, is that, like you said, in terms of if is this realistic or not, go ask people who lived back then, the real stuff. Some of them will say, oh yeah, we did it this way. But then if you talk to enough people, you'll realize that some of this stuff was just idealistic. It was all purely idealistic. It's like, it sounds great, but how many of your grandmothers are single mothers? How many of your or like my grandmother, she was a single mother at one point. She had a husband, then she was divorced. She had, and it's always funny to me when I see people talking about like, oh, in the old days there was no divorce. No, there was divorce.
There was a whole lot of cheating
was
too.
Divorced twice. Two of my aunts have been divorced. I had a great aunt who not only did own property or own a business, but because of the times, her husband's name was on the thing. She ended up having to have a what they call just a separation or whatever. But then eventually he passed away, and so she was able to come away from that. But that was the thing. It's like these things were not always what's idealistically being put out, being purported. A lot of this stuff is just like you said, Smooth, to kind of create this. Not even just an illusion, but basically to kind of gear you or drive you towards something. Dame's, okay. He says it's not there. A great show. This is why I went after my wife. She has realistic expectations for herself and me. She speaks truth and wants to experience her dreams, but doesn't live life for fantasy. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. And that's good. That's good. That's good.
Good. See, that's when you meet somebody on your same wavelength. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Y'all on the same channel. so to speak. So it ain't nothing. That's me or y'all.
I don't know where that just came from.
What?
It was a noise. Go ahead, Smooth.
Oh, I thought that was me for a second. My bad. But like that. But to Dane's point, that's what happens when two people on the same wavelength get together and join forces. At the end of the day, that's how it should happen. And they communicated. They communicated
communication.
That was the important part of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's go back to that topic about the expectations. Are you expecting more from those you date than you require of yourself? And I think that's
it depends.
I think people have to like take a step back and look at themselves to realize like what am I expecting from my future mate, or what am I expecting from the people I date, and then what am I expecting myself to do, right? Or going back to what Raymond said. Are you expecting all these big things? Are you expecting him to meet these requirements, but then all you're offering is a piece of tail, right? It's like, what are you really offering for these people to do all these things you want them to do?
Or is it because when you thought that question popped up, it made me think of certain things I feel like I do look for the other person that I'm dating to have that I don't. It's not unrealistic, but it's like I can pay the bills on time and stuff like that. Not a good saver. That's the person I would want to be matched with is somebody that knows that can teach me how to save, or somebody that can, either, I don't know how to say it, but like either I can benefit from it in a good way, or they can benefit from me. So they may not be a person that can prioritize the bills, and also like they may not, like some guys are not good with paying the bills. Mm-hmm. Not all, but you have some guys that are not. So if you meet me, I'm good at that stuff. I can tell you, this is what you need to do, blah, 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 this and third. Whereas they may be a great saver. They got like thousands saved up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't, I got $5. I don't, I'm not a saver. So is that, like that's, I don't think that's a bad thing to require, or not that I require it, but if I meet somebody like that, that's great. Whereas I know I'm a good cook, so I need you and I can fix stuff, but I also want you to fix stuff and then, clean up the bugs and stuff like that. So like little stupid shit like that, I think that's okay. Mm-hmm. I think is the difference of if it's something big, like if your priorities are just completely screwed.
Yeah.
And you want somebody that no, you got to fix that by yourself, because if you've been almost losing your place since before I met you, and now I meet you, you still losing your place. I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're on the right track there. I mean, and I think what we're talking about definitely is the fact that there's some people that are going, I want him to be, tall, dark, and handsome. I want him to have a job, a car, and his
I do like them to have a car, because I don't.
I need him to be a great saver. He's got to have a high credit score, and then it's like, well, what are you offering? It's like, well, I look good, and I got a car, and it's like, okay, what else can you do? Like, are you good at anything? That kind of thing. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that makes it, because a person's going to come into that relationship, right? Oh, go ahead, Spo. I don't know if you had a comment already.
Oh, no.
Go ahead. Yeah, but I say, because a person's going to come into that relationship with you and going to say, look, I got all this going for me, and it meets all your check marks, but you're not doing really anything, you're just taking up space basically, and that's not working for me. And now you dumped again, right? Or now you single again. You're not getting what you think you want because you want this, right? And like Smooth just said earlier, let's go back to Kevin Samuels. He talks about that. I finally started watching a couple of the other non-controversial ones that just pop up, and one of the things he was asking a lady, and she was trying to agree with him about the topic, but he was asking her, what is your value, and what is your, I think he called it your sexual value, or your something. I forgot how he worded it, but he basically was asking her, what do you truly bring to the relationship in order to get out of that man, or the expectation you have for a man to get out of him, right? And I think that that's a great question to ask yourself. It's like, what are you bringing to this relationship? What attributes, what uh, features, what, whatever the case may be. If you feel like you're a great budgeter and the saver and a blah blah this and a blah blah that, make a list and say, okay, you know what, I got these expectations, but this is what I can do, or this is what I can bring to it. I think that's important to do. Raymond says it has to be meeting of resources, social and materially. Proper team functioning wins. Sexual market. Thank you, Raymond.
Sexual market. Yeah. What's up, Britt?
Hey, Brittany.
I want to piggyback off of what Sunny said, because I wholeheartedly agree with her. With me, sometimes my expectation isn't necessarily like, sometimes you want to compliment. I guess that's my point. So sometimes, like for instance, Sunny may be more organized than me. You feel me? So like, you come in my house, it's not dirty or nothing, but you may be like, oh, it's disorderly. But I know where everything at. You feel me? Or how I run my business. You might look at my things and be like, Clint, how you keep up with this, that, and the third, your income and outgoing? For me, it's like, I just know. You feel me? To where Sonny may come in and be like, no, put this right here like this. You know what I mean? Write this down here, write this down there. So with me, sometimes that's like tedious work. So going into it, when I'm dating, I like a woman that's a little bit more orderly than me. So to take that burden off of me, so to speak. Now, I mean, is that fair? Maybe not. You feel me? But that's something I'm upfront about. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get it done regardless. It just may not be in the orderly fashion that you may do it in. You feel me?
But I think that's the thing. Is like what Sonny was saying earlier. You may it may be a lot to ask, or maybe not even a lot to ask. It may be a little bit, because of some women may be like, oh, I'll partner with you and do this for you. But it may be, you may feel like, well, it may not, it doesn't seem kind of fair, but actually you also may offer, something that she really needs, that she knows she doesn't have, or that she's looking for, that she hasn't been able to find in another man. So, you can't count out, your ability to see past certain things and give great advice, or your ability to help her maybe start a business. She may be like, you know what, I couldn't even get a business off the ground. I know how to organize you, but I don't even know how to get started. You'd be like, oh, I got you, baby girl. I can do this, blah, 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 blah. Break it down for her. Because like you said, it's complementary. It could either complement, or it could just be one favor for another type of favor, right? Like, oh, you're like, hey, I'm really good with cars. I'm really good at fixing things, blah, blah, blah. And she may be like, oh, that's the type of man I need in my life. Now you can do that where she's bringing up your ability to do better business, right? It doesn't have to match. It doesn't have to be directly complementary, but it could just be complementary in terms of what you need out of the relationship or from a partner versus what that person needs out of a relationship or a partner.
Yeah, because I think everybody I've dated had, like, I'm weird. So like when I date, I get into this mode, which I probably shouldn't get into because you give them that too early and then they get used to it. But I get into this, like, my active love is like, my love language is to take care of you. So I'm, from the jump, if I really rock with you, I'm gonna make sure you're good. Like, it's not even like a do you need type of thing. It's just, I'm gonna see, like, and that's why I always laugh, because I was telling people, as much as I run my mouth, I pay attention to everything. So you don't have to say anything to me. I'm paying attention to how you do things day to day. Like, if I'm around you, I'm paying attention to little small shit. So my mind is already wired to be like, all right, well, like if you got this going on, like if you got a business going on, my thing is to be a part of it, not take it over, but like be an assistant in some sort, to try to figure out how to make it better for you, like, or give you ideals here. And that's just how I operate. And so it's just weird, but I have to catch myself sometimes, because you can't do that with everybody. But that's just how I am. I'm just like, oh, boom, boom. Oh, I see this, bop, bop, bop. And the next thing you know, I'm sitting there like, oh man, I did too much. Did too much. But that's the way, like, I pick up on those cues, and most of the people that I date pick up on the cues that I give. Like I said, one thing I do probably require out of the most thing I require from a dude is that he drive, because I don't drive. I'm a professional passenger. I'm not gonna bug you for a ride everywhere, but like I'm not gonna make you. I'm not gonna inconvenience you with your day-to-day activities. But if I need to go somewhere, hey babe, I need to go somewhere. Like, we both can't get on the bus. Like, I don't got time for that. Like, I did that already. I ain't doing it at 38. I'm not freaking doing it.
So here's a question. When it comes to these expectations, right? And let's say that you said that you finally got it together. You're like, hey, I got my expectations lined up with my I can't think of what to call them. Things that I can do, things that I have to offer, right? You know, my expectations versus my offering. What do you, or how do you decide what to settle on, what to concede on? Where you're like, you know what? Maybe in Sonny's case, maybe you're like, hey, I want this man to be able to drive me around. He comes to you and he's like, look, you know, I can fix things around the house. I got a business you can help me with. I got blah, 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 but I don't drive either. Like, do you concede on that? Right. You know, so like what kind of things are you?
I know a lot of guys that drive but don't got a license. That's riding out here dirty. So I've dated some. So my first thing is, well, what's up with your license? Like, how can we fix that? I'm like that. Like, so how, like, what's the issue? So is it a surcharge?
Is what are you gonna concede on? You know, you can use your own life as an example, or if you know some things that people are normally expecting, but they may need to concede on. What do you think that people should concede on when it comes to things that they're expecting, but may not be able to get?
It depends. It gotta be something small. It can't be nothing major.
Yeah, that's a hell of a question.
Like, I think one thing I can probably concede on, which for me it will be an issue. Like, it's actually two things that I know that I will have a strong issue with, but I can work with. If you snore super, it's petty, but to me I can't. If you snore like disrespectfully, horribly loud, we have a problem. That's a major issue for me. I can, like, I work with people. Like, I dated some guy that snort. Like, I had to punch him awake one day, and I said, listen, because I'm a light sleeper, so I need you to let me go to sleep first, because if you go to sleep before me, there's no way how I'm going to sleep, and I'm cranky as shit in the morning if I'm tired. That's one thing that I can kind of work around. We'll figure it out how to get you to stop snoring. I don't know, but like, that's like a wait a minute. I don't know if we're gonna make it. I don't know if we're gonna make it past the dating stage, because if I gotta tolerate that, that's a lot. That's one thing. But the other thing, damn, I just forgot what it was.
What can I jump in? Like, for me, I'm not super touchy-feely. You feel me? I can be. You feel me? I don't mind showing affection in public and all that. Because I've been with women who are really big on that, affection in public. So I concede that a little bit. But normally, it's like, I like my space. I like my personal space. You feel me? You feel, and you'll feel it. You feel me? Because sometimes I even have to catch myself with my baby girl, with my daughter, because she's real up under me. And sometimes I'll be like, you know what I mean? And I gotta catch myself like, nah, me, like, you can't be like that with her. But like, in a relationship, you know, that's something I know I gotta work on. You feel me? Especially for the type of woman I like. Normally they like that affection. So that's something, that's a concession to me.
Yeah.
For me, that's a concession.
Allowing them to get touchy-feely with you.
Well, then I have to follow that up then.
And being
mine is not touchy-feely, but mine is kissing. I've dated people that I could probably tell you that I barely kissed them. Like, I'm not, and they be like, yo, let me kiss you. I'm like, yeah, so no. And it's weird because I seriously dated people for like years and didn't, like, they could probably tell you I kissed them out of 5 times out of the years that I dated them. I have to get better with that, because most of the guys I meet like kissing, and I like kissing. I just don't kiss everybody. And I'm talking about like during sex, regular, just walk and PDAs is a big, like, I'm probably not gonna never kiss you outside. Like that, like maybe when I was young and dumb, but like not as an adult. No, definitely not going to do that outside. So I have to concede with that because I know a lot of guys that I had one guy in particular I dated. He used to get mad that I didn't kiss him. He felt like he really felt away.
Yeah. So let's throw the question to Dane because he already mentioned in the comments that him and his wife are basically on the same page. They're both realistic. So Dane, what concessions did you make for your wife or vice versa? What concessions did she make for you in terms of things that you guys had expectations on before you found each other that you were like, you know what, I'm gonna let this go?
I had to readjust myself after my first marriage. I'm a had to spend my time doing else things, my hobbies. So to fill the void of having a mate there, then when we got together, me and my current wife, um, I'm a big video game player. She allows me to indulge my hobbies, but I conceded on um, when she wants time, since she gives me this time to do what I want to do, like the talk show. She doesn't mind me doing that. She actually is listening right now. Um,
Hey,
she lets me
Jazz.
play video games. She sometimes plays with me. Sometimes she'll come in here and watch me play video games. But when she wants something specifically done, she lets me do that. So what's the point of what's the problem of me? I don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah,
Right.
I conceded in my time when she wants it, she gets it. I mean, it's just
Hmm.
give and take. Like she needs some help around the house, no problem. I'm there. You need some dishes done? I got you. I'll be right back. You know, help with the kids, no problem. I mean, they're my kids too. I did help make them. So,
Right. No, you said
so
right. You probably help make it. Exactly. No doubt. Hey, Jasmine. So yeah, that's good. That's good. It's good to hear. And that's a big one. I think a lot of people have that, especially because time is a hard one for a lot of us. I mean, it's in the 2020s, time is a commodity. So I think everybody has some way or another. There's either an expectation or a concession that's being made when it comes to time. And I think that's
except for
that.
last year,
Say it again.
time was just there.
Oh, right.
We
We
had
had plenty of time last year, right? We had no
We,
excuses.
we had a whole lot of unproductive time.
Right.
That's a big thing for me too. Like sometimes, even when I don't even have to have nothing planned or be doing anything. Sometimes I just like my alone time.
Yeah.
You feel me? To be in my own thoughts, to be weird in my own thoughts, so to speak. Sometimes just to think about random dumb shit. You feel me? Sometimes I don't like to take myself so serious or take life so serious. So I may just want to go off and be a little goofy. You feel me? In my own time, in my own way, without all that extra stuff. So, like what I mean,
Yeah,
I agree.
sometimes I just want to sit at home with no wig on and just sit there and just not to look at anybody like, what you doing? Nothing. I'm gonna come over. No, you're not. I just want to sit here and be with my titties out just for no reason. Like I just want to be in my own little world by myself. I don't want to look cute to that. I want to look raggedy. Definitely get that Clint, because I get them days. I definitely just want to sit around and do absolutely nothing and not have to look like I'm be worried about being cute, not farting in front of you. If I want to fart, I feel like farting, I'm gonna do it. Don't mind me.
Terrible. All right, so let's flip the question now. So, has there been or have you experienced where you didn't hold someone to a standard, or an expectation, and it ended up backfiring on you in that relationship? I'm getting a lot of faces like, you know what?
I ain't even. That's like the dumbest question. Absolutely. I've done that. And guess what? It backfired to the umpteenth power. I'm good.
Yeah, like I try to give, try to get somebody the benefit of the doubt before, and like, nah, that's never going to happen again.
Yes.
Y'all remember where I used to be on blog talking about, man, I'm single. Like I ain't interested in nobody. That was because of not holding somebody to a standard and going above and beyond what I should have been doing. You feel me? Trying to hold myself to a higher standard and not hold them to that same standard and end up looking like a goddamn fool in the end.
Yes.
Never. Got me once. Won't get me again.
And then it had you thinking about yourself, like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Exactly.
Like after the fact, you sit down and you be like, what in the hell?
When your mama said, my mom looked at me one day, and she knew how to get to me. You feel me? And she looked at me and she was like, "Nah, your dad wouldn't have put up with that." You feel me? My mama, if you listen, mama almost got cussed out at that moment. But you feel me? I knew why she said it, because she knew that was going to touch something in me. You feel me? And it did. And that's when that's when I turned them tables. And so from that point forward, like I'll never set myself up for failure like that again. For anybody, male, female, y'all will set yourselves up for failure by not holding somebody to a specific, but not having any standards. You feel me? Have your standards, set them, and don't budge. You feel me? Now you may alter, but never lower. You feel me? Alter, but never lower your standards.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
I think about does this have to be?
Say it again.
Does this have to be a relationship between just couples or just
I mean,
anybody?
no, really any relationship. You're talking friends, family. I mean, it's harder with family because you don't have a choice. But with friends, it can happen with friends too, where you don't hold a person to a specific standard that you should have.
Yeah, I actually had to. I actually cut one of my friends off, lifelong friend. Not permanently. I do have some type of tie with him, but I don't hang with him like I used to because he was a hypocrite about a lot of things. I mean, for years I was looking out for him, but then as soon as he started coming up on his, finally getting his come up, Damon's just left in the dust. I guess he just forgot about me. I'm like, I'm not going to keep extending myself out, reaching out, doing my part. If we're sort of be friends, it should be like.
I'm sorry, Damon. I won't ever do that to you again, bro. I love you.
Not awkward at all. Not awkward. I was trying to keep it between us, but me and you have actually me and you had the understanding. Like we spoke about this. Like you got your life over there when you were doing your thing, but we always kept in contact with each other, even though we didn't always hang with each other. But I knew you, my boy, my brother. But this other guy, I thought was my brother. He just bougie, basically.
And I think when you're talking about friendship, that's another thing too. Is that I think that becomes even more touchier because I think we do hold our friends to a certain standard unconsciously. You know what I mean? And then when you realize what those standards are and you're not meeting them, you're like, wait a minute. Or if they change up on you, you're like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what the heck happened? So I think that's a good point, Dame, is that, sometimes, and I think sometimes we do have to kind of pop that out of our mind. Like, what standards am I holding my friends to, or which ones am I failing to hold them to that are backfiring on me, right? Because that's another thing.
Listen.
People are definitely notorious for not holding their friends to a certain standard and allowing that to either damage their lives or damage their livelihoods without repercussions. So I think that's
absolutely.
What I learned.
I feel like go ahead, Clint.
No, go ahead, Sonny. Go ahead.
No, I said I feel like with friendships, I know for me, I don't like my standards is how I like, and it's bad to say I want. Not necessarily your friendship to be exactly how my friendship is with you, but it's just certain boundaries that we don't. Yeah, it's just certain boundaries that we just like. It's just unspoken rules of friendship, and when you check off them boxes and you keep checking off them boxes, that's raising them flags. We can't be friends no more because at that point I'm realizing that you're not the type of. Not that I want you to be exactly the type of friend I am. But it's just certain things that just shouldn't happen, and there's no conversation that needs to be had. It's just that it shouldn't happen.
Well, I think actually I would venture to say that sometimes I think you do have to have a conversation. Sometimes, not all the time, because some things are obvious, right? It's like don't entertain a negative speak on me if you're my friend. We're supposed to be friends. Either defend me or walk away. You know, you don't have to defend me in every situation, but at least walk away. Don't feel like you have to be my savior, but also don't be the person that's standing there being another backstab.
Watching it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the things I think is a big one that people have no reason they have to say. There's no reason to say that. But sometimes I think some standards you sometimes have to bring to people because either they weren't raised that way or they don't understand because it may just conflict with your thought process, but maybe they haven't even come up with that thought process. You know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things that we've all experienced with our friends where we could literally come back and say, you know what? I bet you they weren't raised, taught, or instructed the same way I was that allowed them to have these standards.
Yeah, but sometimes it does warrant a conversation. Not all the time.
Go ahead, Smooth.
But go ahead.
What I've learned is I'm not gonna make a sacrifice for a friend, knowing that friend wouldn't make that same sacrifice for me. Mm-hmm. You know, and that goes with anything. Like I told myself, I'd never sit in the dark with a nigga again because nobody came and sat in the dark with me when I was in my darkest place. You feel me? I was dolo. You hear me? Dolo. I had to fight out of that storm. Dolo. You know. So
did you let your friends know you were in that space?
Yes.
And they still didn't.
Yes. 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 And I make it clear, like, you know, I don't hold that against them because maybe they didn't know.
Or don't know
how to be there.
Don't know how
don't know how to be there. But my thing is, even when I didn't know, I still tried to be there. Even when I didn't know. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. So the effort meant something to me. You know, so a friend of mine told me the other day, we don't talk as often or hang as often as we used to. But he told me, he's like, bro, because I hit you up. I used to hit people, my boys up just, yo, you good? I'm just hitting you up, seeing if you good. I mean, I don't want nothing. You feel me? 30, 45-second conversation, and it's over. You feel me? He told me, he's like, bro, you the only one. He was like, I was just telling my wife, you the only one that hit me up just to see if I'm good. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I rarely get that. Even after I've been through what I've been through health-wise and all that. You know, and then business, I'm gonna keep it real. Business, Sonny told me something a long time ago. I don't know if she remember. When I first started my blog. First thing out her mouth was, don't expect your friends and your closest ones to you to support you.
Baby.
First thing she ever told me. She don't expect it. You feel me? Now, certain friends did support. You feel me? But the ones who I would thought would support me, nothing. You feel me? So that then right there, I learned, like, if they won't support you when you try to do something to improve yourself or better yourself, then what type of friendship is that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean? What's really holding that friendship together? Is it just history?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or is it just proximity? You feel me? So I've learned over time, you know, like we was talking about earlier. Anybody that know me, know Clint doesn't have an issue being by himself. You feel me? If anything, I get shit done way more when I'm by myself because it's just me and I got to make sure it's done. And I take my L's, lessons, just as well as I take my wins on the chin. So, you know, I one thing I learned is, you know, I'm not going to overextend myself. Never again.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like as friends, at least for me, I try to be the supportive friend because I know from that standpoint, like I said, we've been doing this for how long? We've been doing this podcast for how long?
About 6 years now.
And I got hella friends. And I'm gonna leave it there. But I'm gonna leave it there. But it's no shade or nothing because at the end of the day, you do what you do. But I just seen this meme somebody posted about you'll like, subscribe, and share with somebody you don't even know. Mm-hmm. Or a celebrity that don't give a fuck about you. than you would do for any of your friends. And that takes probably 1 millisecond to do that. But and it's crazy because I'm that type of, I'm not gonna say I'm the best friend that anybody's ever had, but if I'm your friend and I rock with you, anything you do that I can assist with, whether it's something small, minute, or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna do that. Like I got friends, like my sister do real estate. Hey, I need to go. My sister do real estate. Oh, so and so do this. So and so such and such do that. Like I tell people, oh, you know, such or so and so does that. Because if I can't support you in that moment, I know somebody can. I'm sending them your way. Like even like I got friends that put events together. My friends like, oh, I got to put events. I need somebody to do this. Oh, my friend do decoration, do all this and the third. Like, because that's the type of friend I am. Do I expect that from my actual friends? No. If they do that, that's great. But I'm not, and that's why I say I don't expect me from my friends, but I do expect the core values of what a friendship is to be that. And that's why I said it's certain conversations we have and certain conversations I'm not about to have with you because it's just common sense.
This is what I'm telling you. This is something I did years ago. And I advise everybody to do this. Think about your core group of friends, like your real core group. Send each one of them a message and be like, listen, I'm trying to make moves to improve myself, to improve my situation. Keep it real with me and tell me what you think I need to improve on, what I'm doing right, and what advice would you give me either way. And then analyze their responses. See, a real friend gonna keep it real with you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're gonna tell you, listen, bro, your attitude sometimes, this, that, and the third. You do this well, you handle your business, but this here, bro, you gotta fix that. You feel me? Sometimes when you talk to people, blase blah. It's gonna be that one friend, maybe two. That's gonna be like, man, you good, bro. Okay? That's when you look at them.
That one friend ain't gonna respond.
yeah. But that one friend that's gonna tell you what you want to hear instead of tell you what they think you want to hear because they're afraid of that conflict, of that, because they think it's gonna be an issue, even though you brought it to them. That's not your friend. My mama always told me to watch them. You feel me? Dude I met in college. It was these two dudes. They called themselves brothers. They never argued though. You feel me? He said, bro, they not friends. You feel me? Ain't no love there. What two brothers you see, you know, that never argue. You feel me? He said it ain't nothing but resentment between them two. They just knew each other, the proximity and the history. You feel me? And they didn't know how to separate from each other. Fast forward 18 years later, they don't even talk because it was never real. It stopped being real a long time ago because they couldn't speak and have real conversations with each other. So I tell everybody, do that. Find your core group of friends, send that message out. Like, please, I really need it. I really need you to be real with me. And then see what happens. See how your close ones respond to you.
No doubt. I know I got another question. Oh, yeah. Okay. Are you or have you broken up with someone for superficial reasons?
Yes. If I can't look at your feet, like, nah, it's over. Fuck out my life. Like, I always say,
ask you today.
You feel me? You know, I had to give her a ride early. I seen her. It was raining, so you know, it was kind of.
It was raining.
I lotioned them. I said, because normally I've been wearing sneakers.
There's some moisture in the air.
Nah, I mean, but like, yes, like it was. It's this thing about feet, like that when that was in Boomerang, when I was a little kid,
right?
Nah, I mean, like a little preteen. I was probably like, what year that came out? 95, 96.
Right. I thought it was 80 something. Maybe it's 90 something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I probably was like just turning a teenager myself.
92.
92. So yeah, I was still a kid, but I felt him. I felt him in Boomerang when he was like the feet. Like I can't stand. It turns my stomach. You know what I mean? And not even asking. I'm talking about y'all know when y'all look at somebody's feet and y'all just be like, know what I mean? And I had to stop talking to her, dealing with a female because I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. And bad breath. I did that before too.
Oh dang! You broke up somebody over bad breath, bro. Damn.
That's how I've been.
You know what I mean?
I never broke up nobody for superficial reason. Did I? Did I?
Brittany
that's
said
real.
she broke up with somebody, or she will break up with somebody over dirt under their fingernails. She said that's a no-go for her. Like, you want to touch me with those? Feel you there. I mean, and that's one thing is that I've been teaching my sons are like, brush and clean under your fingernails, cut them as much as you can, keep them groomed, because no woman wants you touching on them with them grimy fingers.
Yeah, especially trying to
paws,
stick your hand in places. Hell no.
Scraping the dirt.
Infection waiting to happen.
No job. Because you've been doing this. Like, nobody wants that in their life.
Hands smell like yeast.
Go ahead, Dane. Are you for? Oh yeah. Oh no, you're muted.
Oh, what's the question again?
So are you have you broken up with somebody over a superficial reason?
I broke up with this one girl in my 20s. She likes to argue. I'm not an argumentative person.
Oh, you wasn't even entertaining the arguments. You were just like, nope, I'm done.
She said she likes to argue. I'm like, why? It's pointless. You know, you're getting your blood boiling for no reason. I'm a chill person. I mean, I everybody has a list of compromises. Mm-hmm. That's on my non-compromisable list. Mm-hmm. Like me and Jasmine, we do not argue. We might have a disagreement. We have a disagreement, but we don't argue.
Okay, good. I want to say, don't fall in the trap I fell in. I made that mistake with my first wife. Was not arguing, and then find out later that was bad. Like that was, it's like no. I was just conceding for things, or I think she was conceding on things, and then you be just mad later. You know what I mean? And I think you're right. Having a disagreement is one thing. Being able to discuss and have these conversations and saying, you know what, we don't have to scream at each other and we don't have to yell at each other, but we should be able to have a disagreement and then come to some kind of terms of the agreement, or come to some kind of compromise between the two of us, versus both of us going, oh, you know what, I'm not going to confront it at all. You know, and I think that's where it gets bad.
I never broke up with nobody for a superficial reason. I mean, I broke up with you for a reason.
I tried to stick his tongue in your throat, and you was like, break up.
No. But most of the guys I date, they know I'm not big on kissing. Okay. So they probably broke up with me because I don't do that.
Have you ever been broken up with by somebody for a superficial reason?
Yeah, somebody told. Well, I don't want to say it's superficial. It was dumb as hell. It just was. They felt like they didn't have anything to offer. But like that, I don't think that was superficial. They just felt that way. Like that was probably like the oddest reason I ever got broken up with.
They just felt like they couldn't offer you anything?
Yeah, and I never said, oh, well, like I'm not that person that's like, we're gonna date and I'm gonna tell you like you ain't shit. He was a cool person. But
you know what? Somebody was just telling me that that's happened to them too, and that in terms of some guy that they were trying to, you know, start dating, and they went on a couple of dates or they had a couple of conversations, and the guy was in the military,
like, how you can't offer me nothing?
Yeah, the guy was like, you know what? I don't think I think I need to work on myself before I can be with you. I think I need to elevate myself before I can be. She's like, I didn't put any unrealistic expectations on him. She's like, I barely got a chance to have any expectations. He just automatically made some assumptions about me and then immediately decided to dump me. Brittany said that someone stopped talking to her because they said that she was obsessed with her cat.
Lord.
Yeah, Britt, that'd be a no-go for me too, baby.
No, I've dated guys who tell me they're scared of cats, where they feel they have issues with females that have cats. And I'm like, why? And like, they was telling me some stories. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what type of female were you dating? Like, this is crazy.
Right.
Hate cats. I hate cats. Like, I hate cats.
Oh no, I hate cats. I hate cats.
I don't trust them. I never been attacked by a cat or nothing like that. It's just that I my whole life, I just never liked cats. And I guess it's because there's so many of them in my neighborhood. I just, they sneaky. They always in the shit. I remember I was at Sunny house one time and her cat was just staring at me.
just
sitting there, just staring at me.
But they don't come bother you. None of my cats come bother people.
But, cats are very they're very intuitive, right? They pick up on, they're just like dogs in that regard. They pick up on things. But the thing is that cats are also like territorial in certain instances. So if you're coming into the house and he may be feeling like, you know what, I don't know this person, or I don't know this person enough, and he's trying to pick up on what you are, what you're doing, and what threat you pose to his space.
Well, no, my cats are normally they just want to sniff you because there's a new scent in the house.
But that's the thing too, is that cats don't sniff like dogs do. They don't use, because dogs will immediately come to you and then sniff you to determine good, bad, evil, or what. Cats are more like, let me observe, let me figure out. So I love cats. I absolutely love cats. I'm not big on dogs. Like I love dogs. Not because I don't trust them or anything. I've had 10 kids, right? And I'm tired of raising kids. So
wait a minute, I have a superficial reason.
Child that they're just always going to need something, and that's just like annoying to me. So it's like I like cats because cats are independent. They're very self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Like you go on vacation, if your cat old enough, as long as it's not a kitten, they're gonna take care of themselves. They're not gonna starve, they're not gonna die, and they're not gonna tear your whole house up. Usually they don't. Sometimes they'll knock some things over. They like to knock stuff over, but they're not gonna, you're not gonna come back and your couch is gonna be destroyed. That's just not cats. That's dog stuff. You know what I mean? Hold on. So,
now I have a superficial reason why I wouldn't date somebody. So for right now, for my dating history, fuck you, Aquariuses and Geminis. If you talk to me and I find that you are either one of the two, I'm not talking to you no more. It's like, within everything's conversation great.
Over the
what's your sign?
Symbols, damn.
Like, what's your sign? No, I've dated about 5 different Geminis. 4 of them had the same exact birthday. 1 I had a baby by. Fuck y'all. I've dated you people. I know what y'all are. Aquarius, I had one living in my house. I dated quite a few of you people. I'm done. If you tell me if I date you, if I meet you now, going forward, and you say, hey, what's your sign? Oh yeah, I'm a Gemini. Done. We're dead. There's nothing happening.
And I'm on a whole other spectrum of that. You feel me? Now you see, I got 11/11. I got the Scorpion on my hand. But if I start talking to you and you telling me you dating off the zodiac sign, like, see, I'm gonna immediately lose interest.
Well, I'm not dating off the zodiac sign. I'm just not dating any more Aquariuses or Geminis. I quit them people.
Because, like, we still all different. You feel me? We still all independent thinkers. So, like, I don't really put the one what's the name put up too? Didn't she say something?
No,
that was it. That was Peter's out to get smooth because he hate cats. Peter, come on.
They will be investigating because you don't like cats and you got a lot in your neighborhood. No.
Then I'm just
they're gonna be at Clean House like, what the hell?
I'm gonna just be like, you know what I mean? Let me go get my BB gun and go to work then.
They're making General Toast chicken. This is chicken. No, it's not.
But let's get to I wanted to get to your because it's getting late, but I wanted to get to your that you sent in the group chat about the after show topic.
Oh yeah, the after show topic. Okay, for sure.
We already in the after show. What the hell is happening?
Yeah, it is definitely.
I missed the whole intro and everything. Like,
all right, so after show topic. I think this is it here. Hopefully y'all don't see nothing unexpected. There we go. Okay.
He was worried. He was like, "Wait a minute! Don't show nothing you ain't supposed to
Right.
see."
It's not show nothing we don't want to get in trouble over. All right. So what happens when a couple has a difference of opinion about the vaccine? You know what vaccine we're talking about. For instance, one person is totally against it and the other one is geeked, like, yeah, just got vaxxed. So what do you think should happen between that couple? Go ahead and start with Smooth.
That's a great ass question. They would, because it's a serious thing, especially if there's kids involved. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna add that element to it yet. But it's more about what we go back to. This is a lifestyle thing. So that's enough for people to break up over, because one could be like, nah, I'm protecting my health. This is about my health, and you don't care because you refuse to get vaxxed. You know, and then the other person reply can be, you're programmed. You're just following the trend, you know what I mean? So then that conversation gonna end up getting deeper. You feel me? You can't, that's a conversation or a topic that y'all just can't sit on. You feel me? Now you may have some that be like, well, that's your body, do what you do. That's your body, do what you do. But I really don't see how those two could really stay together if they both on both opposite sides. That's just my opinion.
Sonny?
It's almost like the I want to say like the religious thing. And to me, it's like I'm equated to the religion. I'm dating you. You may be a Muslim, and I'm a Christian. So we have different viewpoints of how we get to where we're going to go. So if I'm vaccinated, and if you choose not to be vaccinated, that's on you. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's just that I'm going to be, my questions are going to be the same way I would be with anybody. If you come around me, be mindful of where you've been. And make sure that you don't bring anything this way, because not only will it affect me, it'll affect my child. So as long as we understand that, I think I could be compromising on that thing, but we're not going to have you're not going to be sending me, well, we understand it, you're not going to be sending me memes or links about how I'm vaccinated and I'm probably going to die because I don't know what they put in me, or I'm not going to be vice versa sending you messages saying you don't care about me, you won't get vaccinated. Like, so long as we don't cross those lines and we have an understanding that we're going to agree to disagree and be real grown, we can make it. But I'm not about to, like, long as we don't get into the meat and potatoes of it, we're good.
Dane?
Respect where I'm at, man. I'll respect where you are.
Right. Go ahead, Dane.
Yeah, like Sonny said, as long as you don't cross that line, and you have a mutual understanding when you have that speech, like we was talking about earlier in the show about respecting the boundaries. Like when it comes to vaccination, if you know your person, like if I'm the vaccinated person and she's not, make sure I'm doing what I can not to make sure she gets infected, and vice versa, and just not to spew so much hate. That's what's been going on during this whole pandemic, is one side hates the other because they don't see the views, or they just think it's a hoax or whatever.
Yeah. Facts.
My daughter put a magnet on my arm.
She did what?
She like, Mom, where'd you get the vaccination shot at? I'm like, here. She put a magnet on my arm. It was like, you're gonna die. I'm like, okay.
Mercury. Oh my god. People be pissed. But yeah, I mean, so I definitely kind of what Sonny was saying. I definitely feel that the two people can be together. I think that it does take a good, like what's the word I want to use? It does take a honest, open, but adult conversation about the situation in order to come to an agreement or come to a realization that, you know what, we may not be in agreement, but we can still have our own viewpoints. You know what I mean? Because, there's like Sonny said about the religion, also about politics. We talked about that with politics. People have to make a decision on, can I be comfortable with the decision you're making? And if I can be comfortable to say, you know what, we can agree to disagree and not hold each other up to some kind of unrealistic standard when it comes to it, then I think we should be fine, right? I was the person who posted this. I told them, I said that if the couple is really solid in their relationship, then they shouldn't have to have a problem with this. They shouldn't have to break up or feel like that there's some, conflict or conflict of interest. But they should be able to have a mature conversation about the decisions that they're making. Respect that each person is making a decision based on their feelings or their beliefs or unrealistic or realistic as they want it to be. Because I think, like Sonny was mentioning too, is that everybody that has an extreme belief about this vaccination, either negative or positive, if it's an extreme belief, their opposite is going to be, they're going to think less of the opposite side of that, right? But if you're in a relationship with a person like that has an opposite extreme belief, then are you going to sit there and fight that person over it? You have to decide, is love going to prevail? Is respect going to prevail? And if love and respect can't prevail, then you understand where this relationship really is going, or where this relationship is really standing on. Because if you can't allow love and respect to prevail in that situation, you didn't really have a good relationship anyway. You see what I'm saying? I think that there's things that are there's relationships, there's families, there's a lot of things being tested by this vaccine, this pandemic, and it's going to come to a head for a lot of people, and this vaccine is going to be one of them. And especially now that they're now FDA approved, or at least one of them is now FDA approved. A lot of people are starting to have less things that they can have qualms about, and I think that it's going to be something that's going to test these relationships. Are you going to agree to disagree, or are you going to fall out?
The key word to me in this question is totally against it, right? That phrase right there is important, because if somebody is totally against something, you feel me, they can't look at that you getting vaxxed as a sign of betrayal.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, how I feel about that. When people go down a rabbit holes, bro, it's really.
Oh, it can be extreme. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Either way, you feel me? Because the person that's really geeked up may feel betrayed too. Like, you don't trust me. You don't trust the decisions I'm making. You know what I mean? Or like, if you don't do it, like, I feel like it's a gray area there. It ain't really a black and white thing or right and wrong. I just feel like it's a gray area, and it can get murky.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's my thing, is that gray area. There has to be there has to be something to combat that, right? Either you're going to combat it or you're going to fall victim to it. See what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest thing, and be prepared for the fallout, because at this point we're all in murky waters, and it's going to be your job, it's going to be your friends, it's going to be your family, and it's going to be relationships. They're all going to be tested. You know what I'm saying? Right now we're all going to start being faced with, is our jobs going to be requiring or mandating these vaccines?
Yeah, our job just
have a problem with the school system. Are the schools going to be mandating these vaccines? And then, like you said, with these relationships, are we going to have opposite positions on these things? Like, like when you said about
travel, like you said, travel, bro. Like traveling, like I was trying to book a trip to Hawaii, right? In order for me to go to Hawaii, I got to do everything.
Yeah.
Vaccine, got to make sure I get tested, everything. So when we discussed, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, with me and my condition and the medicine I take, the vaccine is really useless for me. That's the part that's getting missed. That irks me. Yeah. There's millions of people who aren't, they can't take the vaccine, that aren't getting talked about. Everybody just think it's the
black and white. Yeah,
it's millions of people, adults and kids, who aren't physically able to take the vaccine. that's another thing.
Yeah.
But
but now there's concessions for that, right? In the travel advisory, there are concessions for that.
Yeah. But you got to be.
It's not part of the conversation.
It's not part of the conversation, and you have to know
You
that.
guys are the forgotten ones.
Yeah, because a lot of people are ignorant to that.
Mm-hmm.
Even
though and that's the thing, it's talked about, right? People are talking about it, but it's not talked about, right? It's not it's not part of the greater conversation. And because you're right. That's the sad thing, is because we expect people to be like, okay, are you vaccinated? Oh no. Well, then what's wrong with you? And without saying, oh, do you have a reason that, do you have a medical reason, or do you feel like there's just a, whatever the case may be, versus automatically. I mean, and we talked about that in the couple shows ago when we talked about the life after the vaccine, or life after the pandemic, rather, where you had to bring up the problematic statements like, hey, don't feel like people are just being automatically negligent or automatically non-caring about the rest of the people just because XYZ, right? That's another thing we have to be conscious of.
If you want to compare it to a political statement,
reactions to the first dose, so couldn't get the second, so she's nervous about traveling. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like
if you want to actually do a comparison to it, it's like politics. If you want to do like right, left, right wing, left wing, Republican, Democrat versus, and Clinton is an independent. They're the ones getting left out because they don't have enough people in their party to speak up for them.
Yeah, that's basically the same equivalent.
Yeah,
that's basically the same equivalent.
Yeah.
And then, and that's what I was saying about that conversation. I know we don't switch topics, but this is what I was saying about that conversation before. It's like, maybe, I'm up front with my medical history.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't have to tell you their medical history. You feel me? And furthermore, they're not obligated to give you a reason why they took it or why they didn't take it. You know what I mean? So the question is really personal, to be quite honest with you. You know what I mean? That's why, but we getting into that time to where that's why a lot of people are mad too about the vax. It really ain't about the vax with most people, the vaccine itself. Because you got a lot of people who taking the vaccine who's still against it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about it being mandatory, about the government telling you have to take the vaccine. That's the argument. And they're trying to, the red herring. They're trying to twist the argument into, oh, you don't care about people's health. You won't. It's like, nah, that's not
what about my health.
It's the same way about the Kaepernick.
What about my health?
Exactly.
Basically the same thing. Switch it up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about this. No, it's not. It was about this.
It's about that. Exactly. So, and then you'll get the people. That's why I say you always gotta be wary about people. Like me and Sonny may agree on something or be on the same side of a topic, but our reasons for being there may be completely
different. Yeah.
So don't group us together.
Right.
You feel me? Ask me why. My explanation may be crazy. Hers may be legit. You know what I mean? Yours may be one way. Dane's may be another. You feel me? But just because we all on the same side or of a topic, don't mean we got there the same way.
Right.
Exactly.
Facts. Yep. All right. Well, great topics, great conversations. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. And as you guys just saw, I just posted up there on the screen. We have several shows throughout the week. Make sure you like, subscribe,
make me a big picture.
Fan, follow, hit the notifications. Say hi to Sunny when she comes in. Whatever you got to do, make sure you do it. And we got plenty of content. Every Monday we have the show here on GFT Radio Show. It's all part of the network. All of these shows are part of the network. We have the GFT Radio Show every Monday at 10 p.m. We have How to Hustle podcast with Hype every Tuesday at 2 p.m. We have Styles and Chevy Recap every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Make sure you guys check out tomorrow's show for Hype. It's part 2. I
listened to it today. It's dope.
29 is going to be the why does marriage not work, or why doesn't marriage work?
Yeah, why doesn't? Yeah.
Make sure you guys check that out. It's already available on audio, but tomorrow is going to be on YouTube as well. Wednesday, Chevy and I will be recapping episode 2 of What If. I heard it was a great episode. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I was traveling this weekend, so I'll have to definitely check that out. So I'll be ready to do that recap.
Send me a link.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will definitely be doing that. Because I think we're going to be discussing some other things too. So,
I didn't watch it, you bastards. I got to stop watching it at a certain time. God damn it. I did watch What If.
Right. The Styles Radio Takeover is every other Thursday. I did miss last Thursday because of traveling, but I will be back on that next Thursday. But this Thursday, make sure you guys check out the Fans Perspective. It's opposite every other Thursday at 10 p.m. And then the Sex with Sunny live show is on 2 Fridays a month. We will be picking that back up next month. So we'll get you guys more sexually educated and fully comfortable with that kind of stuff. And then we have introducing Gaming with Styles. Gamingwithstyles.com is now official. Make sure you guys check me out throughout the week, various times of the week. I'm going to try to pin down some scheduling for that, but right now it's just random. Whenever I feel like picking up a controller, I will be playing various Xbox and PC games and streaming them live. So make sure you come check me out. I am a Level Up creator, so make sure you check that out. I am still part of the network. And let's get up out of here. Shout out to Hype. He had some travel stuff to get taken care of. Make sure you interact with Hype over at I Am Hype on IG and Twitter. Listen to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. here on the GFT Radio Network. Sunny?
It's your girl, Nerman Playing. I was going to y'all can hit me up. I am Sunny _D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and don't forget TikTok because I'm on there all the time. And go to my website, Unreservedly Me.
What's going on, good people?
Cat hater.
You already know it's the Killer Cat Man, Smooth. Catch me on Twitter at eTradeGroupMe. Visit my blog. I'm gonna start posting. I've been slacking on the blog.
Yes, you have been. I haven't seen anything.
So I got a schedule. It's gonna be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm gonna start posting. Them gonna be the days I post. It's gonna be stories, poetries. I'm gonna get back to the interviews. I'm gonna also be doing sports on there as well. So holla at me there. Holla at me on the King's Truth on Snap as well. I still be on there. You know what it is. Get at your boy.
All right. Where did Dame just go?
Oh, give me more screen time. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Get him off the screen. Yeah.
It's your boy Dame here. No.
It's not cute when you do it. It's only cute.
No,
It's cute when I do it.
Not at all. Not at all.
When I have dimples.
Peter.
So, yeah.
I know where Clint lives.
Now you snitching?
Snitch.
The information's right there if you want to get in contact with me. I take money. I take gift cards.
I'm about to start putting my Cash App up there.
I know, right? Exactly.
Oh, shoot, I should do that. Yeah. It's your boy Willie Styles here. Oh, no.
In the
you
building.
You can do it.
Thank you. It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Get at me everywhere at Willie Styles on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. I'm Willie.Styles on Snapchat. Did I post anything last week? I'll make sure I make up for that. I will be posting some stuff over on Snapchat. Don't forget to check me out. Gamingwithstyles.com is now official. So make sure you check out gamingwithstyles.com for my game streams or visit me over at stylesradio.com for all the hot tracks. New Division featuring Ty Dolla $Sign Division collabo album. Banging the heck out of that. So make sure y'all check that out over at stylesradio.com or WillieStyles.info for all my links.
He do like the fish from Moana though.
Huh?
No, Ty Dolla $ign. His tweet. He read a tweet. You know the mean tweets.
Right.
He read it. He said that he liked the starfish from the crab from Moana.
Oh,
and he smiled and I laughed. But Ty Dolla $ign, come find me. Show you something real quick. Show you something.
No doubt.
Wait, you don't like Brittany Griner no more?
I do love. That's my husband. Don't you talk about him.
Who?
Brittany Griner.
First of all, it's her.
Brittany. That is my husband. That is a grown ass man.
Terrible.
He had his nipples out on IG and everything. That is the man. I love him. Baby, come find me. I don't want to get beat up, but I love you. Come find me.
Terrible. She's like, she'll make that concession.
See y'all in what? 3 days?
Now, see y'all tomorrow. How to
Man,
hustle at
respect.
night, 2 p.m. Wednesday. You said
Midday.
Thursday. Check these guys.
He want to talk about Hank. We talk about them too.
Check these guys out.
Hold up. What is it?
Right.
These niggers. Hold on. Wait a minute. I had it.
Whoa,
We're
whoa,
gonna figure it
whoa.
out. No, wait. I can't do it.
I can't do a show with him no more.
Y'all know what up, though.
He's a one man.
Subscribe, like, follow, subscribe. Check us out. And we out of here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D, 1/3 of the podcast GFT Radio Show.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles from the GFT Radio Show. Just letting you know you can catch us every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
And to get some merch, I got some on right now. Go to teesprings.com/stores/GFT Radio.
Grown Folk Talk Radio. Join the conversation. Let's have some fun. Holla at us.